Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mitt podcast, episode number 131. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the three types of people that enter your life. One of the biggest mistakes that we make is we expect people to change. And not only do people seldom ever change unless they're faced with a life or death incident, we have to learn to put them in categories. And the more you start letting people be themselves, and observing how they react and what their skill sets are and, do your personalities and values align, the more you're going to have incredible people start entering and staying in your life. The biggest fear we all have is when we meet people for the first time, we see the positive qualities. We also see what they could become, and we start having wishful thinking. We start hoping that they could just, if they improve these things, man, they'd be the great fit. Man, they'd be a great, leader in your company. They'd be a great boyfriend, girlfriend. They'd be a great friend, whatever the case may be. And what ends up happening? We're almost always left disappointed with wasted time. So there's three types of people I want to break down in detail that's going to help you better clarify the types of people that enter your life. Okay, the first one is a constituent. A constituent is not for you. It is not against what you are against, but they are for what you are for. These people we often mistake as really close friends. Okay, for example, let's say you have a friend. Y'all both become single at the same time. Y'all go out, y'all travel together, y'all have a great time. 2 months, 3 months in, y'all are talking every day. You're like, man, this is like my long lost best friend. Then suddenly he or she gets in a relationship. What happens? They fall off planet Earth. They don't contact you for weeks. Something happens. You get sick. Something happens with work. They don't reach out. You're left confused going, wait, what the heck? I just spent all this time with this person. That's because we mistakenly thought that they were for you. It's not that they didn't like you. It's that for that specific period of your life, they are for what you were for. But these people, we don't have to look at as negative. They're like scaffolding to a building. When a building goes up, scaffolding goes up with it. But when the scaffolding is removed, the building still stands. We need constituents. We need people who want the same things we want at many times or have the same goals and want to build great things. You also see this heavily with coworkers. It's very, very easy to mistaken coworkers for lifelong friends. And it is possible 100%. When you build with someone, it does build a connection. But oftentimes we assume that these people are for us. And we start telling them about our relationships. We start telling them or gossiping about work. And then who do they end up telling? Other people in the company. They tell HR, they tell the boss, they tell other people, and it comes back and bites you in the butt. You have to be very conscious about who are these people and what is their driving force. The simplest way to identify and assess any human being is incentives. Charlie Munger famously said, show me the incentive and I'll show you the behavior. And you have to know what drives people, because if you know what drives them, you essentially know what they're going to do in every situation. Okay, the second person is a comrade. A comrade is not for you, and it is not for what you are for, but it is against what you are against. The most simple answer to this is Russia and the United States during World War II. Traditionally, they've historically been kind of adversaries, but keep in mind, the United States is still a very young country. And they were not for each other. In fact, they were polar opposite countries right after the World War II. They end up having a massively long Cold War where they almost had nuclear war multiple times. But in that moment during World War II, it was so dire that the United States and Russia had a common enemy in Nazi Germany. The Red Army helped defeat the Nazis, so did the United States. But what happened after they were done with the war? They went back to being adversaries, and then for a good portion of time, enemies. We have to be very careful and respect comrades for what they are. They do not care about you. They do not support what you are supporting, but they have a common enemy with you. You see this a lot in business, and you see this in politics. Okay, and business is politics. And you see this also with friends. You may both not like certain things. A certain group of people or a certain policy or a certain thing that is happening in your friend group or at your company or in the world, you both don't like. But you have to always remember and trust them to follow their intentions. They will always follow their self-interest. And that includes going and turning against you. But if there is a season, they are a formidable ally because you know their clear intentions. And you know what they will do if those intentions shift. Therefore, they are trustable for a season. The third and final type of person is a confidant. A confidant isn't always for what you are for or even against what you're against. They are for you. They care about you. They will bury a body for you. They will lie under oath for you. They are at your corner every single chance that they can get. And it's interesting, the older I get, the more I realize there's nothing more intelligent when it comes to people than surrounding yourself with people who love you for you. It is one of the greatest life hacks ever, because it's just, for whatever reason, you could have all of these imperfections. You could do all of these things that these 10 people absolutely just hate, but that one person just sees absolute incredible things in you. They support you. They love you. It doesn't matter if you get married. Doesn't matter if you get divorced. Doesn't matter if you get rich. Doesn't matter if you go broke. Doesn't matter if you get sick. Doesn't matter if you have a great week. Doesn't matter if you're popular or you're hated. They are in your corner. Now, these people are rare, and not every person that needs to be in your life has to be a confidant, because if you did, you maybe only have 3-4 friends, no allies, and you wouldn't be able to do big things. But knowing what type of person and what their intentions are extremely important. But when you find confidants, it is important that you never forget them and you bring them with you. It doesn't mean they have to work with you. It doesn't mean they have to have equity in your business. It doesn't mean they have to follow you everywhere, but keep them close because they are rare. And it's also important to realize, as I'm saying these 3 things, is that we are no different. You're not, and I'm not a confidant to every single person. I'm not for what every single person is for. You're not against what every person is against. We all have these different tendencies based on our core beliefs, based on our personalities, and based on what we do good or what we do bad. The point is to see things for what they are and trust people to be themselves. This will give you much more peace. And what this really dives down, and this is, I think, one of the biggest driver in an individual's well-being, happiness, is essentially their self-esteem. Are they willing to see things for what they are? Because if you have too much wishful thinking, you can usually drive that back to their self-esteem, because you have a fear of losing people, or you have a fear of being alone, or you have a fear of not being able to accomplish something if this certain type of person is not there. And what that causes you to do is keep people around who aren't the best fit. I tell this to business owners all the time, because I work with a lot of different CEOs and startup founders to help them grow their businesses. And what I always tell them is never lose leverage in any situation. Be proactive of networking. Be proactive. For example, let's say you don't need to hire a new sales manager. Always have a sales manager job board ad up and interview people all the time. Because if your person leaves, you're not left out to dry. Always save capital so you can afford to let someone go and make a change. Test things so you're not put in a corner. The same thing goes for people. If you constantly keep around the wrong people and wish that they are something that they're not, you're suddenly going to wake up one day and have a massive group of people who don't understand you, don't believe in you, and don't fit into who you are and what brings out the best in you. But if you're willing to walk away and even be alone for a short season of your life, you're going to start adding up such a community of incredible people where you trust them for who they are and you don't have expectations for them to be something that they're not. And when this occurs, you're not only happier, you not only produce better results, but you live a better life in every facet and every area. Put people into positions. Think of yourself as a general manager or a CEO of a massive company. The LA Lakers, or for some of you guys that are international, Real Madrid doesn't go to a high school soccer field or a random pickup soccer game on a Tuesday. And because someone's inspired, they put them on the team and take out their $100 million plus player. No, they prepare and they recruit the best athletes on the planet Earth since they're young. They groom these athletes to be the best of the best in the world, and they leave no doubt, and they pay top dollar. We should do the exact same thing in our lives. Why do we not really look into who we're actually dating? Why do we not actually look into who we're hiring, who we're friends with? Look, just because they're a nice person, they mean well, does not mean we have to adopt them and be their soundboard and listen to their negative problems and allow that to be projected onto you. You can be a kind person, you can give them grace, But if you want to make the biggest impact, help your family, help the world, do things that push life forward in your own and your families, then you need to make difficult decisions. And if you don't, you're going to get what comes with not being able to make them. So hope you guys enjoy this podcast. If you're a business owner that's looking to scale, I do have an inner circle program that is by application only. The link is grantmittconsulting.com. And all you have to do is book a call there, speak with my team. If you guys would like to join free networking group, you're welcome to apply for that. That link is going to be below in the description below. You can find me on all my social medias at Grant Mitt, and share this with a friend. Like, subscribe, push this out to the algorithm so we can help even more people grow. Thank you guys for the support. I'm always rooting for all of you, and I will talk to you guys again for episode 132. Cheers, guys.